sum and difference formulas, what we're doing is we're talking about what happens if I cannot find the cosine of an angle. It's not on the unit circle. Let's say I want 15 degrees, or maybe 50 degrees. So sometimes what I can do, not always, I can find two angles when I add them or subtract them together to get what I'm looking for. So let's say I wanted 15 degrees. Well, that's the same as 45 minus 45 minus 30, and that equals 15 degrees. So now I have my 15 degrees. Or let's say I wanted, I don't know, I wanted something, let's say I had 45 plus 30 degrees. That would give me 75 degrees. So I can add or subtract angles, and then I can find the cosine or sine or tangent. And so we have special equations, which I've given to you here. Cosine of alpha plus beta, so that would be like 45 plus 30. Cosine alpha, cosine beta minus sine alpha, sine beta. Or cosine alpha minus beta, that'd be like 45 minus 30. That's cosine alpha, cosine beta plus sine alpha, sine beta. So notice in this one, this plus here, it's minus here, minus, it's plus, and it has both cosines and both sines. Something to think about. So let's think about our angles. So let's say the first thing I want to look for is 165. So how could I rewrite that? Well, how about 135 plus 30? Well, 135, that is in this quadrant. It has a reference angle of 45 degrees. And then 30 is over here. So if I want to find it, then I would write, well, that's the cosine of 135 plus 30, and that's going to equal cosine of 135 degrees, cosine 30 degrees, minus sine of 135 degrees, sine of 30 degrees. Now let's just think about it. 165 is in this quadrant, and so what we have to remember is that if it's a cosine, the answer better be negative. So 135 is in the second quadrant, so it's negative radical 2 over 2. Cosine of 30 degrees is radical 3 over 2, minus sine is positive in that quadrant, so it's radical 2 over 2, and sine of 30 is 1/2. So I have, I can multiply inside, I have negative radical 6 minus radical 2 all over 4, and that would be my answer.